Hey, I'm Mike Boylan. I'm a staff product manager at Kandji, and I manage the device configuration team and the Kandji agent. The device configuration team in Kandji includes all of the ways that you apply configurations to devices, including the configurations themselves and how you scope them to your devices. Update only mode allows admins to keep apps up to date without enforcing them to be installed on devices and without making them available in self-service. So this is a really helpful feature for any of the apps that we have in our auto app catalog, currently around 200 and growing. And there may be apps in that catalog that users have installed on their devices. Admins want to keep them up to date, but they may not want to offer them for new installations for users in self-service or like enforcing across their entire fleet. There are a number of apps that fall into the use case I think that's ideal for update only mode. And the way that I really look at the difference is apps that are critical sort of line of business apps versus apps that your users may have installed, but you're not enforcing across your fleet. That's extremely important for security purposes to keep as much software on the system as possible up to date. The threat landscape is sort of continuously evolving. And one of the most important things that users and admins can do to keep their fleet secure is to keep software up to date. That's the operating system, but also the apps that users use every day on their systems. And auto apps, right, could represent a large portion of the apps that users use on their devices. Programs that implement Mac, whether it's Mac as choice or every user in the organization gets a Mac, a key part of that success is the ability to customize the device to make it really feel like their own. And so a lot of organizations have this core set of applications that they enforce across every device, but most don't restrict users from installing at least some apps that are helpful for their productivity, right? And taking an app like Spotify, a lot of people love to listen to music throughout the day as they do their work. And so update only mode allows you to keep Spotify up to date without worrying about, does the user have it or not? So let's see how to set up an auto app for update only mode in Kandji. Here I am in my library, and I can see all of the existing auto apps that I have configured. I'm just going to go up here and choose Add New. And here's the list of all the available library items that we have. I'm just going to filter this by auto apps, the platform in various places so that you can really easily identify which library item you're looking at. So I'm just going to label this as update only. I'm going to scroll down, and here in the installation section under continuously enforce, we have the new checkbox for update only. So if I check this box, this is going to make sure that this app is kept up to date across any device in my fleet that has this app installed, but it's not going to make it available for new installations, either automatically across all the devices or in self-service. When you check this box, scrolling down, you get this really nice enforcement section where you get to customize how often you want updates to be applied and on what schedule. And so here we have automatically enforce new updates. The default time frame is 2 weeks. I can change this to be more aggressive, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. For this example, I'll leave it at 2 weeks. And we give you this nice preview of what the currently allowed minimum version of the app is, as well as the timeline and schedule for when new versions will be installed. So this shows here that the new version will be installed starting on August 16th. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to my library. And now if I go over to my blueprints page and look at our assignment map, this is how these library items actually get assigned and scoped to devices. So I'm going to choose Edit Assignments, and I can search now in the library item bank here for Spotify. And if I want to install this on all of my devices, all I need to do is select this, drag it over here to all devices, and save this assignment map. And now any device that is assigned to this assignment map will have Spotify kept up to date automatically if they already have the app installed. It's really straightforward, really easy to configure to achieve consistent patch management across your fleet. So let's look at another example of where update only mode can be really, really helpful. Here we have this assignment map blueprint. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that we are enforcing Firefox on all of our engineering Mac computers, right? And this makes sense because they might be working on the application and need to make sure that it's working fine in multiple browsers. So we have Firefox enforced. But we know that other users in the organization might also install Firefox, and we want to make sure that we keep it up to date for those users that do. So let's go back to the library, add new, and we will look for Firefox. Click here, add and configure. Again, I'm going to label this as update only, just so that it's clear throughout Kandji as we see this library item that this is the update only version of Firefox. I'll scroll down and choose the option for update only to make sure that it stays up to date. And for Firefox, let's be a little bit more aggressive with our update schedule, and we'll say enforce new updates 1 week after an update is released instead of 2. So I'll go ahead and save this to my library. And now if I go back to Blueprints into my assignment map, I can very easily choose Edit Assignments, and I can bring this update only Firefox into all devices. So I'll click and drag. And now for all devices, Firefox will be kept up to date, but then if a user is in engineering, they will have Firefox enforced for them. And the assignment map calls out for us here that whichever item is scoped farthest right on the map is the one that gets applied to the device. And so for engineers, that will be the one that is enforced. And for everyone else, it will be the one that is update only. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And just like that, I now can be really confident knowing that my entire fleet has Firefox being kept up to date, and we didn't disrupt anyone in engineering that already had Firefox automatically installed on their machines.